let me tell y'all something about confidence. Um, when you grow up having a lot of confidence and you grow up knowing who you are and you grow up standing up to people, um, and then you wind up getting into a relationship with someone who challenges your confidence all the time, you wind up forgetting who you are. You wind up forgetting that you were even confident to begin with. And I'm going to give you just kind of a backstory on what I'm talking about. So, I'm a domestic violence survivor, as my followers already know. My name is Rosie. I wrote a book called Faith, Family, Freedom, the RosieXperience, and you can actually purchase it on the Barnes& and Noble website. But this is a part of the victim mindset that a lot of people don't like to talk about, or maybe they just haven't really put the pieces together that this happens. But so the first time that I tried to leave my ex-boyfriend, right? I found out he was cheating on me. I was pregnant. We hadn't even been together for that long, and I already had a child, and I was taking care of my nephew. So I already had 2 kids, and I was pregnant by him, and he was cheating on me, and he quit his job, and I was literally just holding down the house by myself, and while I'm at work, he's cheating. So I had walked in and heard him having a phone conversation with a girl that solidified what I already thought. He was cheating on me. So I told him that I wanted him to leave, and he was all calm. And after I told him that I wanted him to leave, he said, "So we done?" And I said yes. And I was very confident in my yes. I was like, "Yes, we're done. Like, you can get your things. I can go take you where you need to go, or you can have one of them girls you call and come pick you up, but we're done." Once he asked one more time, he said, "So we done?" I said yes. This dude went ballistic. He broke everything that was in his reach. He kicked my TV and stumped it. He started throwing things at me while I was holding my baby. She wasn't even 1 yet, and I was pregnant at the time. And then he had 2 guns. One had a beam on it and one didn't. And he grabbed both of his guns and aimed one at my stomach and one at my head and followed me around the house with it, telling me what he was going to do to me. And he told me that I had just made an enemy out of the wrong person, and he went completely ballistic. Long story short, I wound up letting him stay. The reason why I let him stay was because I was afraid that he was actually going to do the things that he was threatening to do to me. He threatened my whole family, and my family didn't know he had threatened my whole family, but he did. And I had just gotten out of an abusive marriage, and now I'm dating a guy that I thought was not a threat, and then I found out he was a threat when I kicked him out. So my confidence was in the mud at this point, because I'm like, hey, I've always had a voice. So even when I was with my ex-husband, even though he was abusive, I used to talk back, like, not talk back trying to make him mad, but he was a cheater and he was abusive. So I would always call him out on the things that he was doing, and I was very confident in that, because I never felt like my safety was at risk until I left my ex-husband. When I left my ex-husband, he tried to kill me, and he held me up and all this other stuff. So my confidence wound up being completely in the toilet after 2 abusive relationships. Then it became, if I'm at work or anywhere, if I confidently say something to somebody and then they ask me again, I'll renege and I'll change my mind about what I'm saying. It's not because I wasn't confident in my answer. It was because I didn't know how they were going to react. So all my confidence went out the window. So now that it's been almost 3 years, it'll be 3 years in September, that I've been out of that situation, I still have moments where I'm like, okay, stand firm. Rosemary, you have boundaries. Stand firm in your boundaries. Stand firm. Because I don't have to be scared whether or not someone's going to do something to me. I'm not afraid to call the police anymore. I'm not afraid to stand up for myself. I'm not afraid to defend myself. But there was a point in time where I had serious relationships with men who would have killed me. And that stopped me from speaking my mind. I've always been the type of person to speak my mind. But being in a close-knitted relationship with someone who's not afraid to pull a gun out on you, or break everything in your house, or punch you in your face, or stump you until your ribs break, yeah, that's going to make you be confused on whether or not you should answer, or whether or not you should be confident in things that you say. So my book is not only about overcoming abuse, it's about overcoming the victim mindset. Staying in a mindset of being a victim will cause you to not defend yourself and not be confident. If this don't stay behind my ear, to not defend yourself and not be confident in anything. Literally anything. People can say or do anything to you, and you will just let them do it. Not because you're stupid, not because you don't know what they're doing, but because you don't know how they're going to react if you repeat what you said, or if you stand on what you really mean. But I'm just here to tell you that is not okay, because you teach people how to treat you. So if you don't even respect your own boundaries, why would somebody else respect your boundary? People are around you to get what they can get out of you. So if you don't even stand firm in your own boundaries, why would somebody else who don't even really care about you too much stand firm in boundaries that you're not even upholding. Some food for thought. But I'm gonna leave you on this note. I have a link in my bio on all of my social media accounts. That's YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, X. All of my accounts, I have a link to my Barnes and Noble book, Faith, Family, Freedom, the Rosie Experience. If you know anyone who was in an abusive or toxic situation, if you know anyone who has had childhood trauma, childhood sexual abuse, any of that, or if you currently are someone that has any of these things, this is definitely a book for you to read because it shows you from a victim's perspective who wound up actually going to therapy, actually doing the soul work that I needed to do, actually getting close to God and reading the Bible and changing my whole life around while taking care of 5 kids. It shows you the process that I went through and I'm still going through. So if a single mother with 5 kids can change her mindset, no longer be a victim, no longer be bound by an abusive situation or by the things that happened to her as a child, then you can do it too. And that's the whole point of my book. God bless you. You are amazing, and don't let anybody make you think anything different. Amen.